In practice, you want to know that it's not about what you can attain, what you can achieve. Or even when you go to a retreat or you sit in a circle like this with people, it's not about what you can receive, what wisdom you can receive, because wisdom cannot be received externally. Whatever a teacher tells you or a Dharma book, podcast that you read is simply a finger pointing towards the moon, which means that the teachings are just giving you directions and pointers on where to look, because wisdom is deep within. When we have stillness, we have mindful contemplations, that's where wisdom can arise. At the end of last week's session, I mentioned that mindful contemplations is not whereby you just sit down there reflecting throughout the meditation or investigating throughout the meditation nonstop. Sometimes it can become very, very obsessive, as it is basically a habit energy to want to understand things, to want to know things, right? It's the mind distracting the mind. Mindful contemplations, we tend to leave it towards the end of the meditation after you have a good degree of stillness, because it's from stillness where you get your mindfulness to be supercharged. So when we sit, we want to think about what are we offering. So number one, we know is that we are offering our presence. And that is very important, because if you're not truly present, whatever or whoever is in front of you is not completely real. Just like drinking water. If your mind is somewhere else, you're just drinking the water on autopilot, or you're eating your food on autopilot. The food doesn't feel real. But if you're truly present towards your food, towards your loved ones, that's where they become real. You get to see them for who they are or what they are in that present moment, without any preconceived notions, without any views, without any biases. And it's just you and life presenting, manifesting in itself. We also know that we don't exist alone in this world. If you have read about you read up on the Heart Sutra or Thich Nhat Hanh's commentary on the Heart Sutra, it says that you don't exist on your own. You don't exist by yourself, right? You're the air that you breathe, you're the food that you eat, you're the values, the culture that is brought down from your ancestors. You're also the conditioning of your society. You are the people whom you come into contact with. All these influences. And you cannot remove anything that is in your life. Because if you remove that, you're not you anymore. And since life is in a constant change, we are always arriving in the present moment. We're always arriving in the here and now. In a sense, renewing ourselves every moment, as long as we can drop the past and to not worry so much about the future, just arriving and then arriving non-stop. Everything around you is changing. You are changing, you're learning, you're transforming. And it's to truly arrive in this present moment. And since you're empty of yourself, but you're full of everything else in the world, everything else in the universe, you know that simply by meditating, by practicing, it's not just about calming down the mind. It's not just about understanding the mind. It is offering something. You're offering your practice. You're offering your life. Because you know that when you grow in wisdom, when there's lesser mental afflictions, your presence starts to change. It starts to transform. The energy in you becomes very different. It can become more empowering. It can become more influential in a positive manner. So sitting here, you know you're not sitting alone. You know you have many, many conditionings, but that's why you set them aside, knowing that the mere practice of sitting here, of cultivating yourself, you're also cultivating for the world. You're cultivating for your relationships. It's not about solving people's problems or trying to improve your relationships, but it's about offering your presence as you're sitting here. Knowing that there's many, many conditionings in your life, many different kinds of relationship, be it with people or with inanimate objects, that you might not have fully appreciated, that you have not fully arrived on. So sitting here, and every time you meditate, it's about offering that presence and knowing that it will eventually be offered to the world. And because you know that it will eventually be offered to the world, in the here and now, you're already offering your life to the world. You're offering your cultivation. There is a Zen saying that if a boat is caught up in a storm, all it takes is one calm and composed person to save everyone, to prevent the boat from capsizing. In each and every individual in our lives, we are that person. We are that person that can be calm, that can respond with wisdom and clarity. But if you're not mindful, then we will be like the ignorant, desperately trying to jump around and shouting at everyone, trying to prevent the boat from capsizing simply by moving a lot. So that is chaos. We can choose to be the calm person in each and every moment of our lives. And in meditation, it is very important to be mindful of this because you have the opportunity to restore your calm. And knowing that in your deep down, you're actually offering your life and your practice to many, many other people and even to the universe, to your relationships, to future generations, even if you're not married or you never have kids, but you have the future generation that can be from work, from people whom you eventually motivate and inspire. It could be from your nephews and nieces. Many people in our lives have an impact and influence on us. But we need to remember that we are also impacting people. We are also an influence towards others. So that's what I meant by sitting and cultivating. You're already offering yourself to the world. And that is a very natural form of loving kindness. Sitting here with this loving awareness, this loving presence, because you know that you're already offering. So you don't have to go through the traditional form or style of loving kindness whereby you can recite mantras towards people, you can visualize light giving to people, or you simply note, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering. You don't have to do all those. Because in a deeper level of meditation, according to the text, it says that that is also a form of distraction. If you're sending metta, it is a distraction because it is a movement of the mind. So of course, there are times where you want to simply practice metta. You can do that. But if you're not practicing metta, what you want is to recollect on emptiness or interbeing, that you don't exist alone. You're empty of yourself, but you're full of everything else in the universe. And that's why cultivating, sitting here, a lot of beings are with you. A lot of inanimate objects are with you. Because you're part of the whole. You're part of the one, and the one is part of you. And this is how, when we offer, we practice this generosity of offering our presence. We are also anchoring ourselves on the wisdom of emptiness and the spirit of metta, of loving kindness. And that's all we need to do. To just keep sitting, offering, offering. And of course, when the mind starts to experience some movements, you learn to adjust yourself, adjust the mind to remain calm so you could dwell. You're just offering and offering and offering. And if there's a distraction thinking that you need to contemplate on this, you need to reflect on that, or you need to send blessings or namo sigato or metta to someone, just know, hey, that is another habit energy that is coming up, telling you that, oh, you need to do something, or you need to make this meditation beneficial, you need to make this meditation productive. But no, sitting here, anchoring on the wisdom of emptiness, interbeing, you're already offering yourself to the universe just by being here, just by cultivating. You're learning to be that calm person, that one calm person on a boat that is about to capsize. And when we can remember this, we can practice, we can cultivate this in your day-to-day life, you'll be able to use a breath to re-establish yourself, to come back to yourself. And that is the benefit of us having a practice, having a sangha to sit together with, coming here every Wednesday to offer ourselves, to offer our presence to ourselves and also offer our presence to the universe. And that is about all, that we simply sit and sit and sit. Sometimes we can run away from disturbing emotions or uncomfortable energies. The moment we run away or we try to resolve them, it means that we are being afflicted by them already. It means that we're not recognizing that we ought to offer our loving presence to them. So these are all habit energies, which was what we covered last week. That habit energy, which is a thought pattern that comes up very, very frequently. It's very subconscious, that it goes unnoticed. Maybe you want to sit down, you think that today you just need a break, and after you start to think about something bad that happens, or you start to think why you're not enlightened yet, or you think that you have this wound within yourself that you've not resolved, and then you find all ways and all means to uproot it or to remove it. You see, that's a habit energy that is pulling you away. So remember, it's really fully offering that presence in the midst of chaos, be it chaotic people, chaotic situations, chaotic energies, or chaotic mental feelings, physical suffering. We learn to re-establish ourselves in that calm, knowing that we're just cultivating, establishing our peace, anchoring ourselves to that wisdom. That everything is a part of you. You're a part of everything. And yet all these elements, all these things are subject to change. So we can't grasp onto them. With this understanding, we can let loose a little. We can begin to let go and simply make peace of this ever-changing present moment. Each and every moment, we're just arriving, arriving, arriving. Not clinging, not dwelling, just letting go. That is the practice.